Sup everyone. Today we do have quite a lot of things to do, right? Last stream we made quite the to-do list, to be honest. Give me a second to pop out the chats. So yeah, last stream we made quite the big to-do list with like many different things. I'm planning on doing more than just one thing today. I think we have the time to do more than just one. I'll show you in a second what I mean with that. Just have to organize myself a bit. But yeah, some of the stuff is interesting, some of the stuff not so much. But yeah. And there we go. Now we can see your guys' messages. So, the to-do list. The to-do list. Everything that isn't marked with like a check mark is what we need to do. Oh yeah, I did recently add this thingy. Rework UI to also use input actions. So I do have this thingy here where when you hold it, it like switches, right? To like, yeah. But yesterday I found something out crazy, okay, which I've literally never seen before, which is like completely new to me. And that is that inside of widget blueprints you can actually make use of input actions, but only if you have if you cast to a player. Because for some reason this, like, if you hover over this, this would say, no, this will cause the blueprint to be always loaded, which can be expensive. Meaning that this somehow loads the player blueprint into this thing and allows us to use input actions within UIs. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know about that. We discovered it by accident. The thing is, this other thing that I have, abilities, attack info. This one executes based on tick. Wait a minute. We do need to execute it every tick either way, because it needs to redraw the color. So yeah, that's kind of pointless. Reading C++ symbols? No. No. Oh. GG's, guys. Oh, there we go. Tick state. I am accessing the isAiming variable. I do wonder if we could replace that with the input action itself. Like the input action value. I'm gonna try that. Can't promise anything. Yeah, else we might just have to cancel this task and move on to the next one. It's the combat graph. This one. So IA aim. Enhance action values. There we go. IA aim. Can I just paste it? Okay. So maybe I don't even need to access this because of certain stuff. Right. Maybe this is enough. I do prefer this because then we can also get rid of this. And this. Although I'm not gonna remove it just yet, just because some other things might still make use of it. It doesn't animate it properly. You see, it switches the color, but it like doesn't transition. So this doesn't. So rather this isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Now here's the funny thing. Does it fix itself if I just cast to player inside of this function? I'm not gonna do that because casting every tick is pretty expensive. But I just wanna try if just casting, even if it's a nothing. Okay, it doesn't like me casting nothing. How about we cast? Okay, this is gonna be a crazy attempt. Okay, we just cast a player to a player. Yeah, I know it's the same class, but okay, no. So you can use events, but not the actual values, is what I'm getting at. Or maybe I'm just stupid. Who cares really? So there's nothing to fix here. There's nothing to fix here. I just wasted my time essentially. Which is also fine because for the next time I know that is okay. That this is an okay way to do so. I'm sure there's probably a way, but I think we just don't care. So let's just mark this one as cancelled. We have like, yeah, see that this works quite well. So what do we have here? I'd say make first phase not one-shottable. I think that's a nice thing to do. So because if you remember, if we just do this, ooh. Right, so you can, guys, I fixed this last stream. I fixed this exact thing in the beginning of last stream. You shouldn't be able to attack this Hydra, right? But for some reason, the default value of this is true. Why? I changed it yesterday. You all saw it. It just changed back automatically. Why? So let's just keep track of a variable. Current phase. Hold up. Current phase, okay. So we make this an int. And I would say for every time the living Hydro Bomb overlaps, we increment current phase by 1. Like that. Okay. And oh, we could theoretically get rid of this can be damaged thing altogether. It's gonna be 0 and then 1, and then... Yeah, let's get rid of this can be damaged thing altogether. One less variable. Like 4 bits less wasted. Oh, whoa, 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 what is this for? Ah, okay, we somehow need to track the phases. Well, to be honest, let's just we can deal with this later. Nothing says that this is supposed to be like that. Wait, why do I still have a can be damage? Huh? Oh, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I already see how it is. Nothing really, nothing. Unreal Engine just doesn't want to like me today, which is fine. Which is fine. Which is fine. If UE5 doesn't want to like me today, then it is like that. Okay. So yeah. So instead of this receive damage thing, we actually clamp this damage. Clamp float. There we go. So the min is... So the max... Okay, we don't need a clamp, we need a max. So this will choose the highest number out of all the inputs we have. Meaning, when we plug this in here, and we... why is this not centered? It doesn't matter. Okay, so we want to also check if the damage is... Oh no, but this is like the damage you can deal. So realistically, we would have to clamp the health component. So okay, this is gonna be a little bit more complicated than I thought, which is fine. So the current health minus this value is supposed to be clamped, okay? So this is... Wait. No, the current health minus the damage. Current health minus the damage should be clamped or maxed to... Now here's where the magic happens. Get current phase, and then we do a select on that. We don't want to select... No, don't do that. Select. There. The index is gonna be this. So we can add infinite options here. So for example, when give me a second. Give me a second. Right, so this is where we would plug in the health thresholds, right? So, for example, get max health. So option 0, when no phase is active, you cannot damage it at all. However, when on the second phase, we're gonna do divide by 2. So it can make it half-life. Am I right? And for option 2, you can kill it, which is why you can set the health to 0. right? And this is our max. Now, okay, this one we don't need anymore. Now for a little check, so we don't call this whenever we deal 0 damage. If this value is exactly equal to this value, I don't know if it can do equals with floats in. I don't know if Unreal Engine handles equality with floats really well, you know? Maybe there's like an equal method with like which has like a little bit more precision. I wanna avoid floating point errors. It's okay for now. So if they're equal, we're just not gonna do it. But if they're not equal, we apply the damage. The damage being... Oh no, we need to we need to somehow get the modified damage right. So that would be the current health minus this. No. No. That would not be the case. So how much damage should be there applied? Huh. Like, how do we find out which damage? So we definitely need to work with the result of this. So let's say we do 60 damage, right? Or like, the thing has 60 health. We deal 20 damage, but it's getting clamped to 50. This is supposed to be our 50. 20 is this, and this is 60. So it would be previous health minus the new health is our damage. And that we have to compare for equality. No, we can compare to 0. Then we apply the damage like that. We can make it prettier later. Let's just see if that works. I doubt it, to be honest, but we'll try our best to figure it out. So, okay, we cannot attack it. That's good. That's perfect. That is perfect. Now, let's shoot this thing. Okay, and now we should be able to exactly 50%. Okay, let's just double check if this is actually exactly 50% HP. Okay. If this is exactly 50% HP, let's double check. So we go into this, select him. When we scroll down, we should already see his HP somewhere in here. We don't, because it's the component. But we can select the debug object here and get current health exactly 50. Absolute cinema. First freaking try, baby. Now, theoretically, obviously we cannot hit them, right? But what happens... See, another one spawn, right? So when I fire this one, and it hits it, we should be able to kill it. Oh, wow. Although I did see something that concerned me quite a bit, and that is the thingy triggering multiple times. I don't know if you guys saw that. Like, I feel like there's a chance for phases to be skipped. Okay, this one triggered only one time, as you guys saw. This one also triggered one time. I swear I saw multiple logs in the chat. By the way, those log messages kind of annoying. We might have to, yeah. No, it's fine. It's doing its job. Ah, it looks like it's doing everything alright. It does look like it's alright. But I think we can do one better. I think we can do one better. So, right now you can just stack those things and shoot them and increment this at once, right? How about we make it so that you have to reach the previous thing first? Or like the next item? Meaning theoretically if this was to be 0, then we could like insert logic into here to like start tracking the kills again. Or even just as simple as set the visibility for this thing. I have something better in mind. Which would be, I guess, a little bit more accurate. Or I don't want to use not equal because those are floating point numbers. I want to see if this is smaller than this. So this one has to be bigger. Let's tuck this into a sequence. Because this is kind of getting... Oh, do we? Do we want to sequence this? I'd say not yet. So if it's smaller, that means we've reached a point where the thingy becomes immune again. And that means that we can show the shield again. Right? We literally just set this spear to be visible again. Mod, please read your chat. I see your messages, man. Trash stream. Yeah, trash yourself, bro. Trash yourself. You know, if you would actually watch the stream, then maybe. But hey, okay. I don't think I can even give mod right now. But is my channel really that cooked? I actually watch the stream. Of course you do. Everyone does, right? Everyone does. In fact, I'm already a multi-billionaire because of that. Maybe I can give you VIP. Also, you have like 10 billion accounts. Nope, I can't. I'm literally too shit to um how is it called, to give away VAPM mod. I need to be bigger on Twitch for that. But yeah. So this will activate the shield again for this thing. Meaning that hopefully I also want to make it that you actually have to reach the checkpoint and to spawn. Okay. Do we want it to be that for the second phase, okay, that you can spawn multiple shield breakers and basically fire them at once, or that you have to reach the certain? I think spawning multiple is like a fun way to make the players optimize things if they want to. So, okay, there's a shield breaker. I hit the shield breaker. Okay. And then I can hit it and see, look at that, it got its shield back. And now I can't hit it anymore. And now the second shield breaker spawns and that should be able to... Yes, there we go. And then boots. Oh. I'm sorry? Pending kill or garbage. Somehow we're doing damage after the thing is already dead. Am I reading that right? Oh yes, because we apply the damage first and then we do the check. We cannot do that. We can absolutely not do that. Instead, we should be able to execute this first. I don't even know if I need to do this check. How does this implementation look like? That is... Wait, this is... Oh, and then Hydra, and there we go. How does the receive damage function look like? Yeah, it just doesn't... Oh, how does the apply damage function look like? Yeah, see, this is the problem. Oh. No, never mind. That is for when you die. Yeah, that's a problem. It doesn't really respect damage values that are exactly 0 or close to 0. We should add that. We should definitely add that. So we'll do this inside of the health component here. So the damage. We need to check if the damage value is above 0. That's it. Or rather, branch. A problem is it will still spawn a damage indicator because this logic is independent from that. Can I just remove this thing? No, I have to remove. Okay. It's okay. We cannot apply negative damage. So I'm thinking. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it in the health component then. I would do it inside the enemy then, because I do want to apply negative damage in a way to like heal. But like spawning the damage indicator, that's what we really care about, right? So the damage has to be greater than 0. And then we can get rid of a bit of code inside our Hydra. Guys, we're gonna need names for every single one of those Hydra heads. I want names for them. I don't want them to just be Hydra. So if you have any name suggestions, then yeah, let me know. Yeah, so this should only spawn a damage indicator when the damage is above 0. Meaning that we can get rid of this branch, which honestly, I'm thankful for. Because that just added a lot of unnecessary noise to our code. So we need to do this check before everything else. It's gonna get a little bit awkward because of this. So we have to move everything a bit. Connect this into that. And yeah, should we comment our code, or do I believe in my abilities to recognize this mess? Honestly, I don't. I honestly don't. I'm just comment like those random if statements that like don't make sense at all. But like not the whole thing. You know, useful comments. See, here's a little tip for you. Okay, your comments are supposed to help someone, not confuse someone even more. So writing comments where, you know, it's already clear what the code is supposed to do is quite useless. But also writing, yeah, so writing excessive comments is useless. Write them in places where it like actually matters, like here. Like without any context, you wouldn't know what this does. And even if you like try to trace it back, it's very hard to guess. This is why you would use something like a comment. So, yes. So we have a comment, and we can say something like, when the damage exceeds the threshold? Nah. When the damage hits a threshold. I have no idea how to spell that, but it's I think I'll recognize that. I'll recognize that. I think I'll recognize that. Can I just move the comment and nothing else? Threshold. It feels very wrong, but probably okay. So those are our thresholds. Do I need to comment them? I think I'm competent enough to infer that. Yeah, and I think the rest should be fine. I think the rest is quite readable. So let's see if we still get the error. Let's see if we still get the error. So we cannot hit it, which is good, which is exactly what we need. And now we just need to kill a few bombs for a shield bracket to spawn, and then and then whoop. Man, I fucked up somehow. That's rough. Why? Oh. Yeah, so we do have to run this in a sequence. Because this should be independent from that. This should execute independently from that. Like this. So, yeah, so we don't need this connection. Everything is so unstraight. It gives me high cortisol. I'm cortisol maxing. The thing is, when you scroll out, it like loses its straightness because it's like trying to, I don't know, level of detail the graph or something like that. But yeah, that I think we should be good. So now let's see if we can hit it. No? Okay, now I just feel scammed. It still has it. Oh wait, it recompiled the whole thing, so it has its shield again. We need to boop the shield, bam, and then. Oh, see how many locks those were. Now the problem with that is that the current phase is probably now at a value which doesn't really make a lot of sense. 10. Like what? Like, ideally you would debounce this. But like, I'm destroying the actor. How can it overlap multiple times? Why does that happen? Is there a way to like, is there like a debounce node? Debounce? I've no idea. I really don't wanna. Why does it fire multiple? Okay, I can even change the text color. Nice. It doesn't matter. Why does it fire multiple times? Or rather, when? That is the question. It should be asked. Because... Okay. It hit it one time. Now it has its shield again. Man, it seems to be quite random. I don't like that. Should I just make that an issue and then... I don't know. I'm not really quite sure what's causing this. So let's just take it as like as is and revisit it later, okay? So make first phase not one-shottable. There we go. And I'm also gonna see if the bounce for field breaker. Because apparently it can trigger multiple times. But hey, now we actually have like a somewhat of a boss, like a first boss fight. That's like actually somewhat playable. I do want more enemies. Should I do something crazy? Okay. I have an idea. I'm gonna fix another issue that I have related to scripting because stuff like that is like really easy for me. And then we're gonna go into doing something visual because I'm really bad at doing visuals. And that's funny because that's like oh man, it's just oh, of course I know. I just figured this issue out. The reason why it overlaps multiple times is not because, you know, it sometimes does it and sometimes doesn't. It's because there are multiple shield breakers on the same location. Yeah. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. So it never was something regarded to debounces. It never was something with debounce. I'm just stupid. That's the issue. So how do we make that? I mean, that's exactly a mechanic that I wanted to have, though. Like, so that players can stack them and fire multiple at once. But now that I see it, it really looks kind of buggy, doesn't it? Shearbreaker, right? How about this? How about this? I'm still gonna leave some room for players to experience it, but not in but in a very different way, okay? So what we're gonna do is get actor of class. Single actor. A single Shearbreaker. By the way, all of those names I'm gonna rename to like match a little bit more that RPG type of thing. Also, this thingy here, this print, I think it's quite useless. There we go. Is there a way I can do is valid, but like as a booleanary value? Hey, it's just that easy. Wish there was like a hotkey to do like and boolean, like that. Like that. And we're gonna plug this in to the condition. No, we're not. This has to be a not. If it's not valid. Because we only want to spawn a Shearbreaker when there is no Shearbreaker on the map. Now this is actually gonna... Now as you guys can see, we don't actually reset the current kills as well. Meaning that you can store your current kills. I think that's gonna like introduce like a lot of room for like min-maxing. Which I think is cool. Again, I do want players to kind of min-max. So that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. I do wonder though. Am I on YouTube at least? Am I streaming on the right category? Because I mean, maybe gaming fits a little bit more than science and technology. I feel like. I feel like, yeah, I feel like gaming fits what we're doing a little bit better. Just to farm more impressions, I guess. Anyways, yeah, so what this should be doing is that we should be able to, yeah, only fire one at a time, but theoretically spawn them really quickly back to back, depending on how many kills we've stored. If that makes sense, right? Oh, sorry. Let's get the microphone. I just bonked the microphone. So let's just spawn a few of them. Yeah, so this is one. We need a few more. Or like we need to store a few kills. We can even see live how many kills we have, right? So we have 6 kills. Ooh, 7 kills. So theoretically, there should be another one. But like because there is already one, it's not spawning another one. It's never resetting the counter. Meaning that even though there is only one, we're still farming kills towards the second one. Meaning if I fire that one, boop, and another one there, you see? Now we have another one to fire. And now we should be able to just kill him. Nice. Why are we doing so much damage, by the way? How little HP does this guy have? That we can just two-shot him. Oh, little HP. Oh, I think it's because I removed, like, the armor calculation temporarily from the damage system. Which is okay. But still, how much HP do you have? Oh, it's in the health component, obviously. $100 health. Why can we two-shot him? What? Why the hell can we two-shot him? Okay, let's try that again. Wait, the current health is at 0? How does that make any sense? What? 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 Is my system cooked? I think my system is cooked. I think I just completely cooked the system. So wait. I hit it. It flies. It's being hit, okay? So yeah, we should probably have another one in a second. There we go. Hit. That one click. 15. It triggered 3 times? Why did it trigger 3 times? You guys saw that, right? Like 15, 15, 15. Why? I do have an idea. Maybe the ability is like not only sweeping pawns, but also the parent elements. If that makes sense. Like it's sweeping the box, it's sweeping the everything really. So let's stop. Let's just double check that real quick. Also, I would consider this as completed? Is this a completed or cancelled? I think it's a cancelled because that wasn't actually the issue. I mean, we could also add the issue. Fix multiple field breakers spawning. There we go. So what do we have? What did I want to check? I want to check the ability. So player abilities, and this is our primary default. I know, weird name. So my assumption is that this thing is cooked. And this thing is absolutely cooked and traces like multiple things at once. I'm gonna toggle a breakpoint here, which will stop the script whenever we... Actually, let's not toggle a breakpoint here. Let's not do a 1 yet, because that would mean that for every single attack we would fire, we would hit the breakpoint. It would get quite annoying. Let's first of all get ourselves a shear breaker. Fire the shear breaker. And then see why this happens. So we need to add a toggle breakpoint. And now we're gonna hit this thing one time. So the theory is, because it has like multiple objects, it's sweeping. It like does some goof stuff. Okay, I wanna kill the hydro bombs first so we don't interfere with anything. So, boop. And our game paused. And now we can actually see what's going on here. So on cast, we cast to a player. That makes absolute sense. Okay, okay. On hits, this is the interesting part. 6 hits. Well, that's a lot of nothing. Oh, okay, okay, we can scroll down. So it's checking for two things. It's checking if it's an interactable. If it's an interactable, it will call the interactable function. Makes sense. Else it will cast it to a damageable and apply damage. So this node somehow triggers 3 times. Am I right? So we just toggle breakpoint again for this one. I mean, we have 6 elements, which is not really the thing that we should sweep for. Yeah, which is also kind of weird because we are currently doing a sphere trace for visibility. I'm not sure if we want to do a sphere trace for visibility. I think we could make this a little bit better. Because visibility means that it probably also hit like something like the ground. Which, sure, is not a damageable. But it's really also not a thing that we need to sweep for. Yeah, so this is, yes, for example, this plane. This is our ground, for example. The 5. And this is the Hydra. And what is this? There's also the Hydra. Okay. And let me guess, this is also the Hydra? Huh, why is it doing that? So why is it doing that? That's not the Hydra. But it's definitely sweeping 3 Hydras. Which is why? I think it has to do with this visibility thing. I mean, just to prove it, that it's like this part of code that is like causing this. There is 1. Oh wait, not this one. Remove breakpoint. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And there we go. So it hit this one 3 goddamn times. Crazy, am I right? Anyways. Multi-sphere trace. Trace by 4 objects or channel? Oh, channel, no, that's profile. What is profile? We can, okay. So, I mean, a Hydra would be a pawn. But we don't only want a pawn, right? Because an interactable is well an interactable. Man, this is complicated. Well, what kind of trace would we use? Or we just filter out what kind of objects. So this is for objects and object types. We can make an array. We can do world static. Uh-huh. Okay, so what is even? That doesn't really make sense. I don't even know what the thingies that do have an interactable component are marked as. And to be honest, I couldn't be bothered changing it for every single one. I wanna know why. Okay, let's just print. Let's just print the actor name. Let's just print it. World context object. A player can be a world context. So wait, when I attack, it should print all the names. Whoop. Oh, it... Yeah, we still had a breakpoint on this. Okay, wait, so what did it say in the console? That's sketchy. It was a while back. Okay, so what do we have? Water volume, water exclusion volume. Makes sense. The fight hydro. The damage indicator. And the fight hydro. And then the fight hydro again. What is this? Why is it sweeping the same thing 3 times? It's literally sweeping the same thing 3 times. It's not even that it's like sweeping the parts of the components or anything. It's literally just sweeping the same thing 3 times. Is there any information that we can get from this? Of course we can make a set out of this. Is there a method to convert this to a set? No, so we would have to construct a new set. Well, thank you. UE5 multi or trace or multi trace hitting same object multiple times. Multi-sphere trace hitting the same object multiple times despite adding unique. I don't know what you're doing here. Okay. So apparently that's expected. Oh, there we go. Each component counts as a hit, so each actor has multiple tips. All you need is add unique though. You don't need to check if the contains or... What is add unique? Uh-huh. So why wouldn't I just use a set for this? So essentially they're doing 2 loops. One to like filter the thing, and the other one to... I'm sorry, but this seems stupid. So I was right with it hitting the components multiple times. Great. I love being right. Just not in this case. I would, personally... use a set for this. Why do we even have a set? Actor. Object reference. And this is gonna be a set. Because a set can only have unique values. So we don't need to call add unique. That's some propaganda stuff. Hit unique actors. Hit. So on everything we clear. And clear. So before each trace we clear this. Alright. Then we add or hit actor to our set. There we go. Inside the loop body. Or rather, contains item, the actor. And then we branch off this. So only if it doesn't contain anything, we do the funny thing. We add it and then we sequence. I was wondering why I was dealing so much damage to the Hydra the whole time. This makes weirdly no sense, but at the same time a lot of sense. Okay, let's just make a little bit of space and make this all pretty. Because we're little pretty queens. Like that. I do think that making this look better does actually like make it easier to read. I actually believe that. Genuinely. So, I mean, this is kind of ugly still, but like... like that? Yeah? Yeah. Looks good, doesn't it? So this should just straight up work. If it doesn't, then... I don't know. Let me check if the order is correct. That looks very much correct. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, this crosshair thing is really annoying. Let's add that to our to-do list. Align with shot. I cannot promise to do it in like, yeah, the near future, but yeah. Okay, sorry. So, where is... there it is. Boop. Hey! The damage that we deal is actually human. Wow. It's actually realistic. Okay, so that's a thing we've done now, right? So I don't think it was on our to-do list, but it's good that we fixed it. I think the next thing that we want to do is to fix this warning in our output log. Okay, this is pretty... We could also decrease the interval for this Hydra, by the way. I don't think we I don't think we have to execute it every single tick the check. I think that's a little bit excessive. Am I right? But yeah. Anyways, let's just do this phase to see what the error that I'm trying to fix now is. Or it's not an error, it's a warning. But we do have to take the time to fix that as well. Okay, I have another thing to add to the to-do list. Clean up boss fail after each kill. Because right now, I saw it right here. The Hydra fight shield breaker is still alive. And it's a good wasting performance. Because it's never gonna be used anymore. Never ever. So yeah, we just have to swim through it. It's not really doing anything right now. It's not supposed to be anything right now. That will probably be the next major thing we will work on in the next couple of days. After we finish like the first boss fight thing. Okay, so we are in the puzzle section. So the issue very simple. Let's read the warning. Warning: attempted to access -1 from candles of length 4. So let me get this straight. Can I somehow dock this? Yeah. Look at this. When I hit this one, it doesn't like that. By the way, it calls a lot of times, right? It's doing this check a lot of times. Maybe we can do some optimization there as well. But yeah, so whenever we try to access this candle, it's trying to access the neighbored ones. Obviously, it cannot access the neighbored one because there is no neighbored one. It tries to access -1, -1 doesn't exist, we get the warning. You know, in other programming languages, this would throw an exception. Now in Unreal Engine, you get a warning. So what I find even weirder though is that when we hit this one would trigger this imaginary candle that would be here, am I right? It doesn't care. So we can overflow the array, but not underflow it. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? But that's a very easy fix, I believe. That's a very easy fix, I believe. So, enemies, Hydra, puzzles, and the lights puzzle. Yeah. Well, it is an easy fix, but it would require us to write very ugly code. Very, very ugly code. Oh no, is there maybe like a better way to do that? This code is very clean. I don't want to mangle it. But I think I have an idea to keep it clean without mangling the code too much. Okay? So instead of getting the candles in here, we only add the indices. So this would be a make array. Now you guys need to trust me. Of candle index. Oh, how do we make this clean? So we only add the indices. Wait, I do need the +1. I do need that. There we go. I do need the +1 indeed. Man, this looks ugly. I don't like it. But, well, I don't really have a better idea right now. So instead of adding the candles themselves, we add the indices. And what this will allow us to do is to, let's move this to the side, use a for each loop. And then we literally just need to check if the array element is out of bounds. Meaning, is the length how many candles are there? Yes, it is. So the length is actually how many candles there are in the puzzle. It's variable. We can have infinite candles. So we need to check if the array element is bigger than our length. The element is bigger than our length. Or if it's smaller than 0. And only then we might do some logic. Get it? I get it. By the way, for everyone wondering how I can straighten out those lines, right? Like if I have something like that, I just press Q. And it's always relative to what you select. So if you just select those two, it's gonna like try to compensate with this one, right? So what I do is I select multiple ones. So the bias is like at the top here. So this one will move up because it's more elements being on this side. See, now it moved up to this. And again, the keybind is just Q. Q, Q, Q. That's an easy short. So yeah, so this would be out of bounds. We can make a comment for this. Out of bounds. Right? So only if it's not out of bounds, we actually get the candle, get a copy from the index and proceed with our logic. Which is just this. In the false condition, of course. So, there we go. And we have this. And we have this. Great. Now, theoretically, this should already work. Let me quickly fly by. And that looks quite right. And it might even be more performant, to be honest. Because we only do an array access when we actually need to. By the way, this get, when you try to get something from an array, it usually says get a copy, right? But, so you would think that the actor that results into this is like some kind of copy or clone of the original actor, but that's not the case. What we're actually cloning is the pointer to that actor. So even if we modify this element here in any way or call functions on it, it's still gonna call the original actor that is also present in the word. Because we didn't actually copy the actor, we copied the pointer to the actor. Makes sense, right? If we would have had something like a boolean, a number, a literal that is passed by value instead of by reference, then this would look different. For example, if candles was an array of numbers, we would actually get a copy of the number and not a reference to the number. Compile. Does it? Oh. Of course. Of course. Of course. How do we do this without it looking weird? I don't think we can. I think we just have to. Just let it be. It's sick. It's sick. Compile. There, oh, look! Conveniently, the puzzle even reset, so we can actually test if our change was successful. Output log. Focus on dock. And when we shoot this one, see, the puzzle still works, and we did not get a single error. And we should be able to solve the puzzle by shooting this one. Okay. Oh no, okay, so obviously it is length -1 we need to check. Because it's still out of bounds. And the length, so arrays start at 0 in Unreal Engine, as they should, by the way. Fuck you, Lua. So yeah, we need to subtract 1 from the length. Classic off by 1 error. Meaning if we now test this, no error on this side and no error on this side, and the puzzle is still solvable. And we can mark this as complete. Okay, guys. That's some progress, I guess. We made today. I'm thinking, should we try to do something funny with visuals? I don't, to be honest, I don't know if this is gonna go very well. Regarding my, experience. So yeah, I don't know. What is this, by the way? It doesn't like my nav meshes for some reason. But I've noticed that a lot. Like the nav meshes are like really buggy. But I don't think it's something we can or should worry about. Should I do the visuals today or not? I mean, my visuals are like really disgusting. Like, You guys can see I cannot do shit. I cannot model, I cannot texture. Yeah, so what I would wanna create would be the shield breaker, right? I wanna have it like a I want this to be like a icicle, I guess. I think it makes sense given the theme, like underwater, right? And I also designed it kind of like an icicle. So maybe we model an icicle? We can try. Man, but I'm low key I'm low key I'm low key scared. I have to leave my comfort zone for that. Um I'm gonna change the title. I'm actually gonna try to make something like that. Okay. Dev tries Dev tries look guys, Dev tries modeling. And then we do like a goofy face. Why the goofy faces? Like the one that Pablo always uses. Something like that. I mean, it's gonna look different than the Microsoft thing is, right? Like I need like a blush one, you know? Like I need a blush one. I hate this. I like why can't it just be smaller? Man, Microsoft, please. You know what? Fuck Microsoft. We have the power of Google. We just search blush emoji. Emoji. Look at that. It instantly found one. Wait, can I just copy? No? No? Can I just okay. Ah, the cookies, of course it wants cookies. Oh no. Why do they look so weird, by the way? Did Windows change how emojis are rendered? The font? Dev tries modeling. Okay. Let's just update the stream title. And also inside of here. Man. This is gonna be funny, okay? Okay, you know what guys, you know what I also did? Okay, this is gonna be crazy. I downloaded the Steam version of Blender, okay? So now you may ask, why the hell would you ever want the Steam version of Blender? Well, once my Steam actually loads, I'm gonna show you. Not to leak anything. I mean, I don't think I can leak anything, right? It's because of this funny number. It's the playtime. So I already like 9 minutes, okay? I already saw that how's it called, that like if my plugins and so exist and they actually carry over, so I don't have to set up Blender again, which is good. When this project hopefully goes to an end, I want to see how much time we've spent actually modeling. Now, I did model the character, I did model everything you see on the screen, including those spider thingies, right? But for this stream, right, how much time we spent modeling on stream, I think that's pretty interesting. Obviously, I do have some experience in Blender, but like I'm really not that proficient with it. But first of all, we need like reference. So for the shield breaker, I want to have like an icicle, okay? Icicle. Icicle? How do you spell that? Icicle. That's so weird. I want like a stylized one. That's not quite what I'm looking for, to be honest. I'm looking for like a very sharp and kind of a long one, you know? No, not these short ones. I need a single. I need a single big one. Single big icicle. If not, then we just have to maybe eyeball it. Maybe low poly? I guess. But like they look too basic, you know? I want, yeah, something along those lines, right? I'm not saying I'm gonna make like that, because I can't. Literally, I don't think I have the ability to do that. But it's just something that looks a bit more interesting, you know? Just something that looks a little bit more interesting. I mean, to be honest, the modeling of this thing should not be that hard, am I right? Like, it's literally just a cone. But like, I feel like we can make it more interesting than just a cone. You get where I'm going? I mean, I'm really not going anywhere with references. Let's just eyeball it. Let's just eyeball it, okay? So what really is a cone? A cone would be, for me, like a circle. I kind of low poly, right? Like, so we have like hard edges, intentionally not symmetrical, which then form kind of to a which then kind of come close together. How do we grid? Can just, is this, you, I don't think you can make this two quads, right? I don't think you can fill quads with this. Maybe we do need to make it evenly sided. Which would be also fine. But it would require us to do a little bit more work regarding the shape. So a circle with like 6 thingies. Then we're just gonna extrude it upwards a bit. And we're just gonna grid fill. Nope. Just gonna grid fill the, not beautify. Grid fill. Okay. I don't like how this is, because I wanna have like a pointy, sharp, pointy thing. Maybe we do need another loop cut here, so we can like, oh no, that's gonna, the triangles here are trying too much. Ideally, we would have like fill, inset, and then we would like scale this, and the cap would be what we would actually then fill. Let's just dissolve those edges then again, right? Because, yeah, dissolve edges. So this would be like kind of the tip. Let me still grab a little bit of reference still. Just something that I can look at. Sure, the realistic one, okay? It's going very pointy at the top, right? So it's very pointy. Very pointy towards the top. Obviously, we will need a few loop cuts right here. Shade smooth. And wow, we have our icicle. No. Obviously, we're gonna do this a bit more interesting. So my idea was that we have like so obviously we want to have like some an interesting form to it, meaning viewport display. Where's viewport display? In, not in front. Nope. Stop. Wireframe. So when we just take this move thingy, we can kind of, you see, can kind of bend it a bit. I don't know if it's gonna screw us over or not. I'm just trying to like kind of get a interesting or more interesting shape. Can also maybe, I don't know how I should do the top yet, just yet. I'm just trying to get the shape, the rough shape of it, right? The rough shape. Just something that looks a little bit more interesting. Right? Right? It doesn't have to look too crazy because I do try to compensate the shape with like little icicles that go from those points, right? So for example, we're just gonna take those 4 faces. I'm gonna inset. Okay, like somehow make them a little bit more even. Then we're gonna extrude another face and make this one like also low-key pointy and stuff, you know. Now this does create a little bit of weird stuff here, like a weird geometry. Maybe we can just like kind of smooth it out so we can continue with just doing this and then kind of, you know, kind of like that, you know. Just I don't know really. It's just I want this to be a little bit thicker. So that's, yeah, the normals are fucked, let me guess. Ah, I knew it. There we go. Now the normals are okay, and now we can actually use the inflating tool to, whoa. How did I do that? Why did this tool break the mesh? Merge by distance, removed 8 vertices. Okay, I guess we had duplicate vertices. Okay, but yeah, let's just give this one a little bit more shape. Like, I want this to be a little bit thicker. No major shading issues so far, except like this thing, because it's very dense around here. This doesn't look pointy enough. This looks very round. That's not how an icicle works. If you guys kind of imagine it, right? An icicle is because like water like drips, meaning at the point where it drips, like obviously gonna be the least affected, or like I'm just saying it has to be very pointy. Okay. I still don't know what to do with this face, but obviously we want this to be also kind of pointy. This doesn't look really sharp. This looks very smooth. Let's try to make this a little bit more sharp. Hey man, I'm new to your stream. What are you trying to do right now? Right, I'm a developer trying to model, right? And right now I'm trying to make like for my game a sort of icicle, I guess, for the current boss phase. So the current phase, I guess, or the current boss, right? You light those candles up with like your whatever the hell. And after you do that, after some time, some weird placeholder mob spawn. And after you kill some of them, or just, you know, let them do their thing, I called it a shield breaker will spawn, but it's gonna be an icicle. And with that shield breaker, you can then fire him for it to destroy the shield. And then you can actually attack the boss to like a certain HP, then it gets its shield back. And then you kind of just, yeah, do this all over again. 2 times. Right now I'm just trying to go a little bit out of my comfort zone as a developer and do a little bit of modeling, because this is a project I'm working on my own. So I'm just trying around to see if I can make a fancy icicle right now. Yeah, so that's the rough plan that I have right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it just like I did it here with like an inset, right? The faces are kind of ugly, but we can just kind of smooth them out, I guess. I think we want this one to be a little bit smaller than like the other one, regarding the profile of the shape. But we obviously still want it to be pointy, because icicles are kind of pointy, so we have to be kind of careful with how we set this up. Let's just scale it a bit. I think normal will work, yeah. Just to give it that. Well, I think we're gonna add a loop cut and then just work a bit with sculpting to make it more proportional. Right? Maybe you can drag it out even a bit further. That's a good idea. I have to go, but good luck. Thank you, man. And thank you for, yeah, joining by. Alright, so maybe when we move those vertices up, then we can something like that. Yeah? No? I like it that it's like not as defined as the other one, you know, like just this little thing. No. Adding a whole. There we go. It does look rather more like a tree branch, right? But like low-key icicles are tree branches just for ice. Am I right? I definitely want there to be, yeah, at least so it looks good from every side, because this side right now is kind of bland. So maybe we do a very big one near the bottom. And also I think it's a very good thing that those get smaller as we go up. I think that makes sense. So where do we place it? I think here is a good place. I'm gonna open a window real quick. I'm kind of getting hot. You're back. So yeah. So we do the same thing again. We inset, try to kind of correct the profile, or like move it a bit out, correct the profile. Now this one's gonna be a bit larger, so I don't wanna correct it too much with just moving out, because that's gonna make it smaller. I'm just gonna do it a little bit manual, because I want this one to be like really big, really define the shape. Right? So we take that. And we just kind of need to make this one go on the top here. Right, just... Now I could just do it with like loop towards bridging, but I want this to look a bit messy, okay? I could just bridge edge loops, but like I don't want it to look clean. I intentionally want it to look a bit rough, or like, you know. Now this one does deviate quite a bit. It needs to be way closer towards the main icicle. So far though, no major shading issues. So far, no major shading issues. Right. So again, I want this one to be kind of big. It kind of got a little bit small when I used sculpting. But we can kind of fix that, hopefully. Actually, I like this. I do wonder if my intense mouse clicking is audible, because damn. I recently got a new mouse, a G502 Hero? X, but G502X. Wireless, wide. And the clicks are very satisfying, but also very loud, right? So yeah. Yeah, this is a little bit too much. There's a little bit too much that I kind of broke off with the shape. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. It again kind of got a little bit small, no? By the way, the seams are gonna be diabolical for this one. Not because it's like hard or anything, but like I just feel like, I don't know, I think we have to go quite a high resolution for the single asset to like kind of make the seams not visible, because realistically we're gonna have like a seam here, and a seam here, right? So there's gonna be a lot of seams. We have to do like a very good job of trying to hide those. Right. So again, I still don't like how far this is away from the main thing. Maybe we should just go into proportional editing instead of doing that, right? So just kind of like that, because that gives us a little bit more finer control, and doesn't, I guess, move the mesh, this part of the mesh too much, right? Kinda. Yeah, right. I mean, I wouldn't recognize that it's an icicle if you asked me. But like, I think when you would make it blue-ish, then I could kind of, I guess, buy it. Then I could buy it. Man, this smoothing out this thing really made it small. Well, let's just inflate it. The inflation tool is great, but like sadly it does this as well. But we can manually clean that up, am I right? I do not plan on subdividing this, okay? Just so you guys know. But no, but I do have, I just wanna see. It's gonna look very ugly. It's gonna look very thin at certain points. But I'm still curious. Oh no, it looks so ugly because it's smoothed out. Oh no, yeah, no, we want some of those sharp edges, I guess. Yeah? I mean, we could define this thing a bit more. Alright, and then near the tip, I guess I would just do one small one. Or like multiple, like we have small ones. Like maybe literally just this thing? Yeah, I think this one's fine. So like that. That. Let's change this to global again. And we want to extrude definitely. And just kind of get to here and then just smooth it out, and that will make it also small. That will also make it kind of small. And obviously very pointy. I just don't like what's happening here, you know? Oh, there was a bit pinching there. Kinda, no? I think I like this. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, what do we do with the top? I think the place to inset, move up, and just grid fill. I said grid fill. But we don't actually move those vertices because they're only there to exist. See, it almost looks believable. Now I think I do want a little bit of stuff going on here, just like a very tiny bit, right? Just like a very tiny bit. Okay, stop. YouTube autoplay, don't do this to me, don't do this to me, don't do this to me, don't do this to me. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's focus again. So, yeah, I think there are a couple of things which bug me. So first of all, I think we could kind of get a little bit more shape into here. And second of all, maybe we can. I don't think there's enough geometry. I think it's enough geometry. Right? I think it's enough geometry, right? Fuck me. What does that edge look, man? It's diabolical. I think this one is fine, right? Wait, which one? Nah. Oh man, that's diabolical. I cannot add any loops to like kind of support the shape. No. Oh man, I'm getting targeted by like those hey, get bots here type of stuff. Actually, Twitch has improved their systems quite a bit. Like it got filtered. You don't have to see that anymore. Guys, hear me out. This is like full schizo, but what if this is like a check, you know, a check to see if the person streaming is like actually moderating their chat or not? What if this is like a whole, like, not IQ check, but like a check if you read the chat or not? Oh my god, that would have been so smart by Twitch. That would just be crazy. We cannot keep this that sharp, or like, yeah, because it's gonna look weird, I think. This is long, like look at how long those quads are, man. That's we should really relax this a bit. you know, relax the shape. Just relax the shape of it. I think we can add a loop cut here. And just kind of like modify the shape. Just a tiny bit. Just. I don't know. Does it look like an icicle? Does it look like an icicle? E. No, let's not do that. It rather looks like a tree thingy. And for the bottom thing, no. The bottom thing I'm just gonna kind of lazy myself. Just gonna be really lazy with it. What grid fill options do we have? That's not very helpful. Okay. So yeah, I don't want this to be that harsh, right? Maybe like this? Yeah, no? And then, I mean, just tiny bit chaoticness. There we go. This one does look not sharp enough. This one looks very, very smoothed out by my amazing skills. I think this one also is a little bit too much. You too much, you too little. So maybe this? Like, how sharp do I want this to look, is the question. Now, the reason why I'm not doing that much on the bottom is because there's probably gonna be particles on there, right? So, yeah, let's, by the way, save this just so we're sure. Icicle.blend. I just wanna... I don't know if I wanna like add like a very tiny thing inside of here as well. I wanna go into... Okay, scale. Okay, just like a tiny thing, right? It just looks a little bit boring from that side, to be honest. So let's just yeah, kind of like that, right? Kind of like that. Again, it looks a little bit... Pretty believable. Okay, I think it's okay. I think it's, for the start, it's okay. I mean, we have the blend file, we can always work on it later. Just having something is probably pretty nice. Anyways, we go into UVs now. UVs are that thing that I hated at first, but like actually they're simpler than I thought they would be. Like it just needs to like UVs are just that one thing where it just has to do click, you know, where it just has to click. You either understand them or you don't. I don't think there's like a you understand them a little. No, like like obviously there's more depth to it, like regarding like pixel density or right? But no, like just unwrapping itself, I think you either get it or you don't. And at first I wasn't really to understand how. Like it just my head was just not prepared for that. Like I watched videos and like people trying to like IRL unwrap a box, right? But once you understand that there are like a lot of ways to unwrap them, but they eventually boil down to just unwrapping primitives, then you should be pretty good to go regarding that. Now, I don't know what I'm trying to do regarding this thing. I tried to make it a bit sharper. I think I succeeded with that, to be honest. Now this one is sharp, but this one is sharp in a very bad way. We don't want the single vertex to just stand out, because when we're essentially gonna bake like the shadows and stuff, there's just no information. What are we supposed to do with that single vertex? It's just gonna ruin everything, which is why we need this. Like we want faces to be at the top, kind of. I'm just not getting there. Help! Make it pointy. No? Is it pointy? I think so. I feel like it could be a little bit more thicker towards the bottom to really give it that thing. This looks like a straight up... This looks like a subdivision modifier would just be applied, right? But yeah. Let me see the... how's it called? The poly count. Where can I see it? Okay, I'm guessing... Okay, guys. Wait, can I even view it here? I think maybe I have to be in object mode. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? I'm saying 380. 380. And it's gonna be... Oh, 216 vertices. And 400 triangles. That's not bad. That's... Considering that that modern game engines, especially Unreal Engine, can render millions, we're fine. We're so fine. Now, I'm not using Nanite, which is good for such a low poly model. I'm not ready to have this debate yet about like Unreal Engine's Nanite and virtualized geometry system and how was it called? Virtual shadow maps, right? But I guess they're good for making like those high poly, realistic looking things, but like they're really not any useful for like low to medium poly to like, or like the stylized workflow, right? I think stylized workflows don't benefit at all. Rather the opposite, in fact. I think those workflows are hurt because of those new features that Unreal Engine introduces. luckily you can just turn them off. So, yeah, even though Unreal Engine could theoretically handle if this thing was 10 million polygons straight from ZBrush, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the traditional flow, the traditional game dev flow. Just like anything else. So let's do the seams, no? I think I'm talking a bit too much and doing too little seaming. Because we do need to see if this like even, you know, works out. Because there's some pinching going on, which probably could be avoided with subdivisions. Let's not do that. Man, but I still I'm not quite happy with the shape, you know? It should be pointy, but also, like, thick. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what I have in my head. I'm literally just eyeballing it, because I didn't find any reference. It was just like, yeah. Do you think it just looks kind of like I applied a subdivision surface on it? I mean, I did smooth out a lot, right? Like still, I think we can do a lot better, especially like around this. Man, see, it's the artistic eye that I need, which I don't have. I think we just made it worse. Okay, it's like just this one at least, right? This one, I want this to be pointy. Good enough? I mean, there's gonna be like shit ton of particles around it anyways. It's not gonna matter, right? Anyways, let's mark seams. So we wanna like divide this rather complex shape into smaller non-complex shapes. Since those are all like cylinders kind of, we wanna have a lot of tiny cylinders, okay? So we cut those thingies completely away from the main cylinder, okay? We cut those little icicle branches completely away from the main cylinder. And then we can just, okay, so how did I have this set up? So, okay, I see an edge, but like this, we would have to invert this. Okay, so let me just delete the... Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, stop. Stop it. So the issue right now that I'm having is that Right, no, it's fine. We could also just flip those ones. Those faces. And there's still a stray edge. So grid fill. Yeah, like that. Nice. So to cut a cylinder, or like to UV unwrap a cylinder, what I think I want to do is to firstly find somewhere where we can, yeah, around this axis. And we're literally just gonna like cut it in this way, right? Mark seam. So that when we unroll it, kind of, whoa, 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 what happened here? Is that because of backface culling, or did I actually, I think I actually deleted the faces. Yeah, so that when we unwrap it, it's kind of like a roll, you know? Does it make sense? It's kind of like a roll. Yeah, we need to do that for the other mini cylinders as well. So I would always put the seams into places where you don't really get to see them, because yeah, the texture at the red points is gonna look weird, because, well, it's a seam, meaning there's gonna be seams. I do see a little bit of pinching inside the or like for shading, for example this, right? But I think it's gonna be fine. I hope. So yeah, I would always put the seams facing towards the geometry, or like towards this thing. So when you view it from, for example, this angle, you don't get to see the seams at all. That is my thought process. What did I press? No. So mark seam. So now, when I double check everything, we should be able to just cleanly unpack this. Oh no, we forgot a seam here. Mark seam. There we go. Now you unwrap minimal stretch. So this is our main roll, and those are our little ones. They don't really look like like a cylinder, right? I think it's fine though. I think it's fine. Obviously we pack them to maximize our space. Let's do 0.4 or 0.6. Oh, obviously UV pack islands 0.6. Okay, no, that's not what it was. No. That's okay. We're gonna do it manually. So, those smaller ones, I guess we can move them up here. Increase the resolution a bit. Why are they doing this? Like, I just want them to be arranged, but not like scaled. Or like, I want them to be scaled, but not flipped. Wait, let me try packing again. Scale, rotate. Okay. So we can not make them rotate. Pack guidance. Maybe scale? Just scale? No. That. I mean, scale plus rotate is a little bit crazy. Like, look at where it's placing this thing. To be fair, it is using the maximum surface area, but like, I really don't want this to be inside of here. I'd rather want this to be like here, right? Maybe if I increase the yeah, honestly, the packing is harder than the unwrapping. That's still a very small margin, am I right? But like, at least you can somewhat see where everything's going. Pack islands just a little bit higher. Oh, I haven't selected anything. I think this is the best unwrap that we've got from this today. It's a little bit it's like diagonal, which is not ideal for like low resolution. Okay, let's straighten them out in a way that makes sense, and then try to pack them. Because else this is not gonna be a nice experience for texture. Just like somewhat, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, just so that the pixel grid is better aligned. So we don't want them to rotate, but we will allow them to scale. Is that correct? That is functional. Now every one of them is facing down except this one. So let's just rotate this guy. So it's also facing downwards. Okay, we are using a lot of UVs, or like we're wasting a lot of UV space though. Which I think it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. I think the texture quality we get from like wasting that UV space is a bit more valuable than going a higher resolution. Because I don't think it's gonna have a higher resolution. Okay, regarding my export settings, right? How I export a asset to Unreal Engine. I've changed nothing in the viewport. Like, people will tell you, oh my god, change the viewport scale or something like that. You don't need to do that anymore. But what I like to do is just selected objects, scale. Like, I'm normally fine with just 0.1. And then under geometry, smoothing, really important, smoothing groups. And theoretically, that should be it. That should be enough to export a simple geometry to Unreal Engine without any issues. Now there's a little bit of a difference with, how is it called, armatures. You need to do a little bit more, but what I have found is that this works the best. I even have a preset for that. Yeah, see, for example, this transforms thingy. You could also change to X forward so they're aligned properly inside of Unreal Engine. But it's always like a gamble, right? It's always a gamble. Let's just export it. I'm not gonna try to texture it today, I think, because it's already kind of late. But how much time did we spend? Around an hour for the model. But I'm gonna open Substance Painter just to like see how the bakes look, okay? I just wanna see how the bakes look, or like how the rough, how well this model is, how well I can texture the model. Does it make sense? Icicle.fbx. So this is our icicle. You do see some kind of pinching, right? Like it's not clean. But hopefully we can get hopefully it's not gonna be that bad. Again, I'm not gonna texture it today. I just wanna see if the modeling is. Wait, do we want this to be up or down? We want this to be up. I just want this stream might lag a bit because we're doing some baking. Can be heavy, but no, it doesn't look like it. I guess my PC is just that goated. I just want to see how well the baked maps look. Okay, it's not too bad. Like we can see here, for example, this and this right here, something happening, and here, for example, it's not really good. But like from afar, I have the stylized material, which I literally just copied and made into like a smart material from like some YouTube tutorial. I'm gonna apply it and see if it looks good. It looks absolutely horrible. GG's. So, yeah, there's a bit more stuff to do, actually. I can tell you it's 100% a curvature that's, yeah, that's like doing some stuff. The ambient occlusion is... It's present, but weird. But yeah, the curvature is fucked. Maybe just the balance. Yeah, no, the curvature is like completely... Yeah, that was what I was talking about with the long stretched quads, right? They are not ideal for doing something like that. They're not ideal to do something like that. So ideally we would not have those long stretched things. Also, look at those dark spots. They're like very weird. It's the ambient occlusion that's doing that. But yeah, again, I'm not gonna texture it today, but maybe we can get something out of this. We'll see. But that's definitely it from my side. If you guys enjoyed it. And yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, somewhat around the same time. Yeah. Bye bye.